Okay, awesome. Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for joining in today. Can someone just confirm that everyone can hear me and see me and then the audio is good? Okay, great. All right, so I'm just going to get started and we're just going to go straight into it. So my name is Florence San, and I am the COO of Rensan & Co. We're a boutique strategy management firm in London, and we also have a virtual base in Lagos, Nigeria, and other places in the world and growing as well. So today I'm going to be talking about finding opportunities in uncertainty. In the case that anyone can't hear me and the line is bad, please do indicate. One moment, please. Okay, so let's start by defining what opportunities mean. So when we talk about, I'm sure everyone knows what opportunity means, but I think it's important that we first actually understand what it means for us to understand the word opportunity. So opportunity means, in essence, a time or a set of circumstances that makes it possible to do something. The word opportunity derives from opportune, which is convenient time, an appropriate time for a particular action, or we can also see opportunities as a favorable time, a particular time in history. And so we already understand that for us to, find opportunities in uncertainty, I think it's important that we know what we're looking for. So sometimes the word opportunities, sometimes it looks like we're confusing the two. We're like, okay, I'm searching for an opportunity, or this is an opportune time. There's a difference. So right now we're going through a global pandemic, which is the corona outbreak. In order for us to see opportunities in these sort of times, it is important that, number one, we change our perspective. Most times we are what we see, we are what we hear. And in a pandemic, no one's ever dealt with this before. So most of us are adjusting. I mean, it started in March, but right now I think, the lockdown is being eased in Lagos, in Nigeria, and in London, we're still on lockdown. And I think for us right now, I think as business owners or individuals, for you to really make the most of this moment, you must be careful what you are feeding yourself. I think that's my number one point on finding opportunities in uncertainty. Be careful of what you are feeding yourself. Be careful of what you are taking in. Netflix is great. Instagram is great. Facebook is great. IG is great. TikTok is great. But most importantly, beyond all these things, what are you taking in? Because for you to find opportunity in something that is unstable, that is uncertain, it is important that you realize that you must see differently. So right now we're facing a global pandemic, but some people are still cashing in. Some people, they're having the best moments of their lives. This is a blessing to them. This is something that they have prayed for. This is something that they have always wanted. Do you understand? So I think as women, as people, I'm sure there are men here, but I think we must really change how we see. Now, one of the best ways I would recommend that we change how we see is by controlling what we take in. So sometimes cut back on the Netflix, cut back on the high, intake of social media. Don't spend all your time on the phone. Don't spend all your time talking away, because sometimes you need to be sober enough to hear yourself, hear what's going on in your mind, hear what you can do. So I will also say, take this time to really assess so how do you see the world? How do you see the world? How do you see situations? Now, when you understand that, you are able to make a solid assessment of what you need to do to go forward. A lot of us don't want to be sober. A lot of us, we don't like this quarantine rather period, because it makes you you're not realizing all the issues you swept under the carpet about yourself. And I think this is a good time to, okay, address it. Okay, you know what? I can be lazy. This is a time to fix that. You know what? I like sleeping too much. I don't want, excuse me, I don't want excessive sleeping to destroy the things that I want to do. So let me change that around. So I think, number one, just to recap, change your perspective in order for you to see the opportunities in uncertain moments. So when we go into uncertainty, uncertainty basically means doubt, unpredictability, a state of being uncertain. You know, when you're in the two minds, you're not really sure if you're going, if you're coming. That kind of set confusion has a way of messing with people. And right now, I think this global pandemic that we're going through is, I know a lot of people are hurting. I know a lot of people don't have money, or a lot of people don't know where their next income is coming from. And while that is very sad, I think this is a good time for many of us to really start new things or finish that which we've started. So that dream, that plan, that idea you had, but you never had the time to implement it, this is the time. But if you do not stop, if you're consistently consuming content, you're not going to be filled with the space, the internal capacity to come up with your own concepts. You know, the owners of Instagram regularly sit down together in a boardroom and they think about how to keep us on our phones. The same thing with Facebook, the same thing with TikTok, the same thing with all these other apps. They sit in a room and they discuss within themselves, how can we make sure these people don't stop using their phones? So in the same like manner, it is important that you sit with yourself. I have something I call a thinking chair, where I go and sit down and I assess my life. What have I been doing? Where am I going? What steps do I need to take to get there? Now, to find an opportunity in moments like this, depending on if you're a student, if you're a businesswoman, if you're a mother, having children right now in the house and you're trying to work and you're trying to look after them is quite tough. But if you're a student, you maybe have coursework, you have exams you're revising for. So whichever category you fall into, you need to give yourself time to think. You need to really assess yourself and assess what life do you want. So this is basically planning from, reverse planning. So you know where you're going. What is your purpose? What do you want to achieve with your life? Now, a lot of us may not know our purpose, and that's fine, but at least you know what you want your life to look like. So I call it dreaming in colors. So sit down and ask yourself, what do I want to do with myself? Don't just say, I want to become a doctor. No, don't write that. In the sense of, what do I want my life to look like? What kind of man or woman do I want to be in the next 10 years? Don't just talk about your dreams and your aspiration. Talk about the character traits you need to have to get to where you need to be, the habits you need to form to get to where you need to be. And then you become flexible to amending that. So you literally sit down, you say to yourself, okay, I don't know how long the lockdown is going to be in London. However, right now, everyone's at home. Now, we know the basic principles of making money is offer value to people, solve problems, entertain people, or monetize on their weaknesses. And that's what most people are doing right now. And certain industries are on a rise at the moment. And that's not necessarily because they were made for crisis, but because they followed the basic principles of making money, or serve or meeting a demand. So a lot of us go into business or start things because we want to make money, and that's not necessarily a bad thing. It isn't a bad thing, but what you're doing has to meet a certain set of standards. So are you solving a problem? So look around you right now. If you're in Nigeria, if you're in America, if you're in the UK, what problems are around you? If people are staying at home all the time, what would they need at the moment? What challenges may they be going through right now if they are home? Is it internet issues? Is it that some people have products they want to sell, but they don't have a website? What are the challenges people could be going through in your environment? So for instance, in my area right now, a lot of people, the challenge is people go to the shopping mall, but they have to queue. No one wants to queue. No one wants to stand in the waiting line for 45 minutes just to get milk or just to get bread, So could you offer a delivery service, a door-to-door delivery service, so where you go and do your shopping for them and then you bring it to them? So you have to be willing to go the extra mile to be able to find, okay, joy, find an opportunity in something. You can't just be comfortable. For you to want to find opportunity in uncertainty, you have to come out of your comfort zone. You can't think the way you used to think, because it's not going to get you anywhere. Okay, so understand the problems that people are going through. Speak to people, try to understand the issues that people are being faced with right now, and then try to come up with solutions. Now, the solution you come up with, you should be able to solve them seamlessly. Not all the solutions you'll be able to solve, but there should be some solutions that you see in those challenges and you do it effortlessly. So what do you do effortlessly? Is it that you can, obviously being a counselor, you need qualifications, but is it just like offering a service or an app where people can say how they feel without feeling judged or condemned, and they know it's a safe area for them, then they pay you? Or for instance, are you really good at doing hair? Right now, people can't go to the salon. So maybe you can offer one-to-one Instagram sessions or Zoom sessions and teach people how to braid their hair and charge them for that. I remember when the lockdown thing started, I had my nails on, and we can't go and take out our nails. So I had to buy, all these things from Amazon, and I was like fiddling, I watched YouTube videos. They weren't so clear. I didn't, so someone that is very good with like doing nails could have easily, I would have paid for that. I would have paid for someone to sit down with me on Zoom and tell me, Florence, this is how you take it off. This is how you remove your lashes, without removing your entire lash line, so what problems can you solve? So don't go into a market because this is what you like. What is the challenge? What is the market right now? What can you do effortlessly? All right. Then I would say change your perspective, find problems, come up with solutions, and then see how you fit into the solutions. Then the next thing I would say is be willing to try, fail, try. So be willing to try, fail, try. What this means is that don't be scared to reach out. Don't be scared to offer people help right now. Don't be scared to send proposals to people. A lot of us would move forward more in life if we were not afraid to just send that email or call someone or say this to that person. Don't allow yourself be the hindrance to the life that you want. So you want to be this person, you want to do this with your life. A lot of us, it's not that we lack ideas, it's not that we lack focus. A lot of us, it's just that we don't believe in ourselves. We don't believe that we are good enough. And to be able to find opportunities in uncertainty, you have to have confidence in yourself. If your self confidence or your perception of yourself is not so great, in an uncertain time, you might struggle a lot, because a lot of the things that you feel about yourself starts to play up. So it's very important that you take, like I said, be sober, be still, reduce your intake of social media, of Netflix. Some days I just don't watch the shows that I'm watching, because not because I don't want to watch them, but because I need to give my mind a break. Don't clog your mental space. A lot of us, we're not distracted physically, but our mental space is filled with so much because we've taken so much. We watch Netflix, we're on Instagram, we're on Twitter, we're consistently absorbing information. And the way the mind works is it's never still. It retains all these things that we're taking in. So even if you don't remember it, it's somewhere still there. Okay. Now, when you become sober enough and you cut down on these things, you are free internally to think beyond yourself. Okay. So be willing to try. So what emails do you need to try? Where do I get the emails from? So who do I need to contact to get the right emails? Or how do I draft this proposal? Okay, so reach out to people. So the person, you may not be able to solve a problem, you may not be able to entertain people, you may not be able to come up with the next Amazon, the next dispatch service. A lot of us, we have cars right now parked away in our front, at the front of our house. We're not doing anything with it. Put your pride away. Ask people, do they need delivery service? Like, be willing to try things. Don't sit there. I've heard of a lot of people that started their business in their car, just doing door-to-door deliveries, going to people's doors and saying, good morning, do you need this? Do you need that? I'm selling this. They were willing to try, they were willing to fail, they were willing to be rejected. Because if you're going to reach out to people, there's an option that they will not respond to you. And yes, rejection hurts. It's annoying to reach out to someone and they don't respond to you, but that's the reality of life. You can't expect that everyone you reach out to is going to give you the time of the day. So again, remember I said you must change your perspective. Now, if you have a perspective where you're like, why should I have to reach out to this person? After all, I'm this and that, you're not going to want to send that email. You're not going to want to DM them on LinkedIn and DM them on Instagram. Okay, some people, their social media page isn't so great, but you may be great at social media. So you can say, do you know what? I can help you with this. A lot of makeup artists right now are out of jobs, nail techs, hair people, but they're sitting on information. So I know a lot of makeup artists in the UK now are doing, online classes and teaching people how to do their own makeup, right? That's great. But beyond that, how about we take it a step further and teach people, how to shop for the right products? Because sometimes, so there's so many different things that you do effortlessly. This is what you do. So how can you sell that in another way? All right, so be willing to try, be willing to fail, be willing to be rejected, but you must take the first step. A lot of times we know what we want to do. Like I said, it's just self-belief. Now, to find an opportunity in uncertainty, you must believe in yourself. You must conserve your mental strength for the things that really matter the most. Okay, now the next thing I would say is ask questions and innovate. So in line with trying, in line with reaching out, in line with knocking on doors that may not open, the most important thing is that you are trying, you are asking. So how you ask is also very important. Okay, we're talking about finding opportunities, uncertainty. So an uncertain time, even the person that is making money and doing well, they're still kind of uncertain. Like Amazon right now, they're doing really well, but they're still kind of uncertain because if the staff decides to not come to work, they can't make money. If the dispatch companies, the delivery companies decide to not operate right now, they are out of business. How are you positioning yourself if you have the solutions to people's problems? So how you align yourself is also important. How you ask is very important. So be mindful of the tones, the way you speak to people. Don't be entitled. So even if you're smart and you're an expert at what you do, a lot of, right now kids are at home and some parents may not know how to help their children to study and to revise, but you may be good at English, you may be good at maths, and that's something you can charge money for and you can do it so effortlessly. But it's how you present yourself, it's how you take it seriously, it's how you package what you are trying to do. Okay, so ask the right way, and in asking the right way, be mindful of your tone, be mindful of the word choice you use. Don't be entitled, and always leave it open-ended. Okay, offer value to people without wanting anything in return, because they need to see that you can deliver on what you said you can do. A lot of times in my career and in what I'm doing right now, I didn't qualify for it. I didn't have the PhD that was necessary to get the role that I wanted. But because I asked, and I asked the right way. So for instance, I would send a proposal out to someone. I'll say, oh, hi, my name is Florence. I can do this and I can do that for you. And I understand that this may be new to you. However, I'm willing to offer you a 90-day trial or a 1-month trial for you to experience the service firsthand. And then if you would like to go ahead after that 30 days, this is what the price would be. Now, what have I done? I have given them an opportunity to, because they'll be like, okay, well, it's free. Like, what's the what can possibly come out of this? Do you understand? So they'll say yes most times. Most people have said yes. And in 30 days, after the 30 days, I over deliver. So I don't over promise and say I can change the world for you. I can, change your life. No, I will say this is what I can do. This is how I do it. Give me 30 days or 20 days to show you, that I am about what I say I am about. And most times they will give me the chance to do that. They will give me the opportunity, and, I will try. I over deliver. I don't, I I go above and beyond, and I'm not getting paid. I take it seriously like it's my own. I'm just so dedicated and so immersed in my work. And then after that, they're hooked. Then later on, they're like, oh, okay, fine, I'll pay you. Even if I don't have the money, I'll go into my savings, I'll take it out, because they've seen the difference that I can make. So what difference can you make? Remember, we're talking about asking. So how you ask. So don't be scared. I know we want to make money right now, but sometimes it's an uncertain moments. We're living in uncertain times. So people are not sure. So they're probably not sure about what you say you can do, even though you are confident that you can do it. Be so confident that you can offer people trials. Okay, so I can teach you how to plait your own hair. I can teach you how to cornrow and do, braids yourself. And I'll sit with you on Zoom while you learn it. That's $50. That's £50. That's, 20,000 naira, and all you need is data, and I'll teach you everything. So, but they need a trial. So maybe show them your teaching skills. Okay. So innovation speaks of inventing things, coming up with things. So this is in line with, um, asking, trying, but innovation is a deliberate act of actually wanting to create systems or processes that helps other people or entertains other people. So remember, we said if you can solve people's problems, if you can meet a need, if you can entertain people, if you can help people, if people can find identity, if they can find similarity, so we are people that are attracted to, we function by our senses. If it smells nice, if it sounds nice, if it moves well, we want it. We like things that shine. It's the neurological science of business, where the way our mind works. Okay, so innovation. How can you innovate in uncertainty? The first step again goes back. So everything I'm saying today is around the same principle of you seeing differently, of you changing your perspective, of you taking time to be really still, to really assess that this is not about me. Okay. A lot of us right now, depression is probably knocking at our door. We're isolating ourselves. We don't talk to anyone. Whereas some of us are having the best times of our lives, because the difference is perspective. It's not necessarily circumstances, or because you have light 24/7, you feel better anyway. It's that even if there's no light, even if there isn't good roads, even if, yes, there is light, and there's that, how can I add value to the next person? So to add value to someone and to innovate, you must first assess again. I know I'm saying the same things, but I really want us to understand that the concept of finding opportunities in uncertainty is the fundamentals are quite simple. It's the implementation that is hard, because a lot of us now will hear, you understand what I'm saying, it might make sense to you, but then what do you do with the information that I'm giving to you? So a lot of us are following people on Instagram. Who can you add value to on Instagram? Who do you need to reach out to express your services to? And again, don't be, like I said, be willing to try, fail, try. So in innovation, in adding value, you have to give room for yourself to what's the English, sorry, you have to be willing to reach beyond yourself. So you have to put yourself to the side and then think of the other person more. So it's not about you, it's about the other person. Uncertainty brings confusion, it brings so much dark emotions to a lot of people. And a lot of people just want to breathe, they just want peace, they just want, assurance. So how can you fit into that puzzle? How can you position yourself to ensure that you are at the right place at the right time? And to be honest, opportunities it looks differently for some people. For me right now, this lockdown is a time for me to learn new things, to study, to ask questions, to research. A lot of us, in as much as we want opportunities, in as much as we want to do well, in as much as we want to, make money, do great things with our lives, we don't know what we're talking about. So it's a research thing. And again, believing in yourself goes a long way, because most of us would go so far if we could believe in ourselves. Okay. And the importance of doing that is, you must know what you want to research. You must know how you want to go about it. Okay, making sense, everyone? I don't know if people can talk back to, yeah, makes sense. Everyone following? Okay, great. All right, so the next thing I'm going to talk about is how to maximize your mental capacity to achieving more and to exploring opportunities. Remember, the first point I gave was talking about changing your perspective. If you change your perspective, you can do more with yourself. I strongly believe in that. How you see, what you are seeing is what is going to affect what you do. Okay? So don't don't be scared to see differently. Don't be scared to covet someone else's perspective. Now, your mental strength is easily wasted when you're absorbing the wrong things. I can't emphasize this enough. A lot of us right now, some of us are sitting on gold. We have experiences. Some mothers in this conference today, your advice can save someone else from going through destruction, but you just keep your experiences to yourself. Whereas there are people in America right now doing Zoom session, telling people how they survived this, survived that, and they're charging dollars for it. Because if you can help someone overcome a journey that you have already been through, you are a guide to them. Okay. And the basics is, how do I, but for you to see that way, you must change how you see. Okay. Is everyone following? Anyone? Can people ask questions? Yeah. Okay. People are sending me thumbs up. Thank you guys. Because I can't hear you guys. I can't see you guys. So it'd be good to know that I'm making sense to you guys. Does anyone have any questions before I go ahead? Yeah, can I carry on, guys? Yeah. Okay, great. All right, so changing your perspective. Conserve your mental energy by taking walks, by writing, by doing things that you love. A lot of us, we like to sleep, we like to watch movies. Some of us, we can't do that because different circumstances. Okay, so find the little, like, what joys of life do you enjoy? So it's in as much as, yes, plan, strategize, think, research, and everything. Sometimes you just need to relax. And in relaxing, and not doing too much, ideas and inspiration comes to you. For me, this lockdown has been a moment where I can, because of the lockdown, before the lockdown, thank you guys, thank you. Okay, so because of the lockdown, for me, so this year, okay, I'll be honest with you guys. So this year I decided I was gonna, go back to doing a course. I was gonna go to the gym finally, because for years, when you say I'll go to the gym, I'll lose weight. So for me, this was the year that I finally was like, yeah, I'm gonna sign up to the gym. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna be healthy. I'm gonna learn an extra language. So I actually signed up for French evening classes. I I made plans, and then coronavirus came. And it was really, destabilizing, because I had made plans to do all these things for myself, for my life, for my team members, and to further myself. And then the virus came and just altered all the things that I needed to do. I was meant to travel. I was meant to go speak here. This person wanted to book me for this, contracts. I had a client of mine that is a footballer, and they were going to pay him about £10,000 to do something for FIFA, and because of the virus they cancelled. And now that had a ripple effect on me, because the money they were going to give me to help them facilitate what they needed to do, I lost it. And I already made plans with that money. I'd made plans. When you send money on an errand but you have not received that money yet, that was what I had done. I had not gotten the money, but I had sent it on errands. I had said to this person, month end, I'll send you this money. I'll do this. I'll buy this. I'd called someone. I wanted to get a new wig. So I said to her, okay, by the end of this month, send me this wig, change the color. I sent the money on various errands, to the point where I was like really excited. I was certain that, I'll get this, when you're just so confident. And then the virus came, and yep. She called me. She's like, "Oh, Florence, unfortunately," and I'm like, "Oh, okay. I mean, is there anything that we can do? Like, I'm willing to just, try to really collect." But yeah, no, it didn't happen, and it was devastated, and I was like really upset, because I had made serious plans with the money. Anyway, so what did I do? I took a few days to moan and sulk about the situation. So, which brings me to my point of give yourself time to feel what you want to feel. Put yourself on a timer. So I said to myself, I'm going to be upset about this thing for 24 hours, maximum 48 hours. And I set a thing on my calendar. I said to myself, you'll be upset from this day to this day. Eat the amount of ice cream you want, watch whichever show you want to watch, and then after that, gas to move. You have to find another way to make the money that you've sent on different errands, because no one asked you to send it on errands. You did that, so now you need to go and find new ways to, so in a way, I felt how I felt, I addressed how I felt, and then I moved on. A lot of us will not move on because we fail to give ourselves the opportunity to deal with what we are feeling. So what you feel is valid, but give yourself time. Give yourself time to move on from it. So yes, it happened to you, but turn it around and make it happen for you. So what did I do? I called her, a few weeks later. I didn't speak to her anymore. She didn't speak to me. Everybody's doing quarantine, lockdown. Okay, so I mean, I was really sad, because I did some work and everything. So I was like, whatever, I didn't talk to her. She didn't talk to me. So a few weeks later, after I moved on from it and I dealt with my emotion, I called her. I said, "Hi, I hope you're doing well. I hope everything is okay. I know I was going to do this for XYZ amount of money, but you know what? How about I do this for free? I know you still need it, so I'm going to just help you to draft the proposal." And she was like, "Oh, really?" I said, "Yeah." I'll do it for free. Don't worry. I'll do this one for free, because you're a good person, blah, blah, blah. She said, "Okay, no problem then." So she let me do it. I did it really well. I didn't do it like, well, I'm not getting paid, so I'm not going to do it. I woke up early. I assembled everybody that I needed to. I did it. I did my job. I wasn't getting paid, and it was fine. I mean, it hurt a little. I was a little bit salty. I was burning. I was pained. But I did it. And then she didn't say anything. She was like, "Okay, thank you. We finished what we needed to do." Then 2 weeks later, she was like, "Florence, I got some money for some stuff. I've sent you something, help me manage it." I was like, "Oh, okay." Like, I didn't expect it. Because remember, I said to us, be willing to try, be willing to fail, be willing to reach out, be willing to change your perspective. My perspective before was that I'm not going to work for free. I've spent years doing things to help people, I have bills to pay. I have a life that I want to build for myself as well. I'm not going to work for free. Even if I know that I can help you, I'm not going to do that research for you for free. I'm not going to do it for free. But I changed my perspective because I knew she needed my help and I knew she didn't know how else to get it. So I decided to do it for free. And even though, so I let go of the mindset that I would get paid. I just did it because why not? And 2 weeks later, she didn't pay me what we agreed that she would pay me, but she still gave me something. And then this was the real good part of it. She referred me to someone else that could give me double what she was originally going to pay me, which was amazing because I didn't expect it. Okay. So doing unexpected things sometimes yields results that you never would have expected. Okay. Reaching out and wanting to just help people, be willing to just be a person of value. And that was what I wanted to do. After I was, I got over it. I just wanted to offer value. So beyond how you feel, what value can you offer to the next person? Now, if you are in unfortunate circumstances in your home and changing your perspective is quite a hard thing to do, it is something that I feel like a lot of us, we want to change our perspective. We want to be energetic about life. We want to, reach out to people, send proposals, offer our expertise. If you know how to cook right now, a lot of people are tired of cooking. In the UK, I wish, I could cook for a lot of people. I think I'm quite a good cook, but I don't know about cooking for like a big, um but there's people that I've been seeing on my social media like, "Oh, I'm tired of cooking. Every day I'm cooking. This is the ghetto. I'm tired of cooking. I want to go to a restaurant." And I'm like, imagine if I could cook for like a lot of people. I mean, I like spicy food, so I don't want to go and cook for someone now. They pay me money and then I'll put plenty pepper inside the person's food and they'll be complaining. So I don't know how to balance that. Anyway, so I think there's opportunities in that. A lot of you are really good cooks. You love to cook. You enjoy cooking. How about you cook for people? Of course, adhere to safety and health measures, but there's opportunities around you if you come out of yourself. So don't just be consumed with what you are going through. Don't be consumed with what your family is making you do or how your husband is treating you or what's going on. Think outside of the box. A lot of companies had to innovate. Like, for instance, the Dabira conference is usually hosted in person, but with the coronavirus, the founder had to innovate and come up with a concept to do it online. So she's doing a digital summit. She didn't pack the idea and say, "Oh, well, this is an opportunity for me to take a break. I'm not doing it again. Let me just chill." But she knew that she has people that can help, that can, be a solution to some of your problems. So she reached out to them and she brought them all together, and we have in this conference. Okay, so changing your perspective, be agile, be flexible, be willing to try, fail, be willing to change your perspective, ask, innovate, draft proposals. Don't abandon LinkedIn. Another thing I want to say is there are many jobs right now being given. My sister literally just moved out and got a new job in a new place. And that was because before the lockdown, she had positioned herself to applying for jobs. And even when she wasn't getting any interviews or any callbacks, she would read the job description and then reach out to them and say to them, "This is what I can do to help you. I know you're looking for this exact role. While I may not be able to fulfill these demands, I can still do XYZ." So I may still be in university. I may not have a job right now. I may not have done this for 20 years because I've been looking after my kids. However, I understand from your, advert that you're looking for a particular type of person. I am that person. How can we work together? How can I show you that I am that person? Okay. So a lot of us, that's some of the things we need to do, but we must get rid of pride. We must get rid of pride. We must get rid of the fear of what if, and maybe, a lot of us would go so far if we just packed our pride levels in the bin. And I think that's one thing I did, for, I think in 2017, when a lot of Nigerian artists and celebrities would come to the UK, people like Toke Makinwa, Tiwa Savage, all these people, I would draft emails, proposals to them, and I'd send it. I'm like, hi, good afternoon. There's something that I have that can help you. That would be the subject title. There's something you're struggling with. I can help you. Read my email. And some of them would respond, some of them wouldn't. And then the ones that would respond, they would be like, okay, can we talk? Like, this sounds interesting, because they're now in my territory. So I understand that they come to the UK, they're selling things they don't know, they're selling things they won't be able to reach out to do, and what no. So I was willing to do the work that no one else was willing to do. Now, in being willing to doing the work that no one else is willing to do, therein my opportunity was to really help people go from point A to point B. And in my line of work, despite my qualifications or my certifications, most of it is being willing to just be there and listen and help them, so meeting the demands of them rather than doing what I want. Okay, a lot of us want to be, so for instance, you may want to be an astronaut, but there's no need for astronauts. But if you're so hung up on, no, I must be an astronaut, I must be this, I must be that, you're not going to make money. So sometimes go to where the market is. Go to where there is a need. Right now, they need health workers, but a lot of people are like, I can't come and die for anybody. Coronavirus, no. But that's where the money is. The American government were willing to give people visa to come to America, which is like, wow. So the visa that people have been paying thousands of money for. Imagine if I was a doctor, I just managed to do that degree that I didn't like, I got my qualification. Right now, I could be in a different country. So be willing to pivot from your comfort zone. So pivoting is changing. Don't just change, don't turn sideways. Do a 360 change, like completely overall, everything. Like, what can I do to go to the place that, be willing to go beyond what you are comfortable, what you know. Okay, so I'm going to do a little recap so that I know that everyone's following. I can see people commenting. Thank you so much. So again, change your perspective. Be willing to try, fail, try. Ask, innovate, research. Be willing to offer free services to try things out. Now, don't just offer free service and now say, that's it. No, when I offered my free service, I put a caveat there. I said, I will allow you to work with me for 10 days or 30 days, but after that, you have to pay XYZ. So don't go and now offer to do free hair service. Like, tell them what you can do. Show it to them in that trial, and make sure that you are, so they position yourself as the problem that the solution they cannot do by themselves. Okay, so if you can do hair, I actually really need some. If you want to, I'm actually willing to pay. If you can teach me how to comb my hair and sit with me while I plait it, I'll pay you. But a lot of people don't have patience to do that. But these are the kind of things that people want to pay. A lot of people want to do DIY right now, but YouTube is just like, it's just talking at you. Like, they don't stop to say, oh yeah, practice your own. They don't give you that, but you can do that. Me right now, I've been craving snails for the longest time, so my friend wants to buy some for me. But how am I going to cook it? How do I even clean snails? I don't know. But on YouTube, the information is not there because they rush through it. So again, don't be scared to look different. Don't be scared that, what if I start doing this and then people think that I'm desperate? Girl, being desperate is like, do you want to pay your bills or do you want to be looking a certain way? Like, packaging should not hinder your bread from getting your bread. When the coronavirus thing was really bad in the UK, and it was really bad in the UK, I was speaking to my friends and they were like, this person has lost their job. This one has lost their job. What are people going to do? And I was like, see, there's dignity in labor. As I am, there's no way I cannot work. If I have to clean to make sure I put food on my table, I will do that. As long as I know I'm doing something within the confines of my values and my principles, I will get any job that I can get if they are willing to give it to me. Someone's like, never, I can never work in a mall. Why would I do that? I have a degree, I have I have an engineering degree. Me work, is beneath me. And I'm like, it's beneath you. It won't be beneath you when you cannot pay for your phone bill and you don't have data to watch Instagram videos and do TikTok and do all these things. Do you get what I mean? So you must be willing to forsake all these what if and what not and be willing to do. And most times we may not even have to go and apply to work in ShopRite or in Iceland or in all the others, in Macy's or all the other places, but we have look around you. So practically, if you have a notepad and pen with you, I want everyone to assess themselves. What do I have around me that I can solve? What is the problems around me? What are the things that I can do to do more? A lot of people are doing live videos now, trying to. It's going to get tiring after a while. Even people are already tired. I deactivated my IG, my personal account, for 10 weeks. And as soon as I came back, there was like 20 lives going on at the same time. I was like, what's going on? What's this? Guys, no, it's too much. But everybody now, there's so much information. Everybody's trying to, and I think it's a battle to stay relevant. Influencers are trying to stay relevant. Everybody is trying to, be in people's faces. Sometimes relevance is quiet. Just because we cannot see you doing the most, hosting the band, this one and this one. Some people even they bring in Lagos State Commissioner. They're doing so many things, and while it's great, while it's necessary, I'm not knocking it. It has its place. People will get tired. When they get tired, what are they going to be looking out for next? A lot of you have watched all the movies in the world. Like you are actually, all the shows on Netflix. I know some of you are like that on here. There's no Netflix you haven't seen, all the series you've seen. How about you start reviewing it? How about you start reviewing it and telling people, listen, if you want to find a good show and not waste your time, like, I'll be the plug. Obviously, you can't start charging for that outrightly. But how about you then reach out to Netflix and then you reach out to the organizations of the shows and you say, okay, listen, I have this platform where people pay attention to what I recommend. Okay, I think my time is up, I believe. Is it? Is it? Yes, no? Yeah? Okay, I'm going to round up. All right, so I think I will leave you guys with this. I'll leave you guys with this. Don't stay on brand. A lot of you are going off brand because of uncertainty. But the true depth, the uncertainties will end. That is one thing about uncertainty. It doesn't go on forever. That's one thing. I'm relatively still young, but with the little I know of life, nothing stays the same forever. And I think for me, this has really helped me in this period where the things, the job that I'm doing, they've paused my contract. I've lost the ability to make certain money that I was making before to do certain things. And it's not getting me down because I know that it's going to be over. Now, when it's over, you are all going to look for me. Now, this is not arrogance. This is me knowing that in this lockdown, I am devoting my time to learning. Instead of staying up to 3 a.m., 2 a.m., 12 midnight, talking to man or gisting on the phone. No shade to anybody that is doing that. I love you all. Can do what you want. But please remember, please remember that your future is in your hands. and the decision to become more, life is attracted, like, money, being a person of value, it starts with you. You have to be intentional that I will find opportunity. Like, I was complaining about the lockdown before, but now I see it as an opportunity to learn, because we're all going to miss this lockdown. We are. We're going to look back and we're going to be like, I wish I did this. Don't wish. You have the time now. Don't wish that, I wish we would have another moment in time where everything is on hold. No, life is on hold right now. What are you doing with it? Because you may not see the results of it in the next 3 months, but in the next 2 years, giants are being born in this lockdown period. CEOs, investors, people that will change the global sphere, the ecosystems of Nigeria, UK, and America. Right now, they are being born because they are doing what we don't want to do. So, what are the things that you can do that you're not doing? Break laziness, break procrastination, deal with your anxieties, change your perspective, be willing to try, fail, try, ask, innovate, research, and don't allow the relevance thing make you do things that are off brand. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. It has been an amazing time talking with you all, even though I can't see you or hear you all, but I trust that I made sense and you learned one or two things. God bless you all. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Florence. Please stay on. Please stay on. Can you hear me? Okay. I believe everyone can hear me. Thank you very much. That was a very amazing session, I must say. And it's so interesting that I don't know if you were actually in the first session. It's so interesting that you've actually mentioned about 3 things the previous speaker, Chris, had said. So, I mean, it's the same, when they say a thing is established from 2 or 3 prophets, isn't it? And here you are repeating, and bringing to us the same message. So obviously it is an established fact. And you talked about what are the things around us, what are the problems around us that we can see. He also mentioned that. And you also talked about the things we can do more, and you talked about being relevant, how everyone is going on Instagram, on Facebook, wanting to be relevant. He also made mention of that. So obviously the battle is going to be very fierce because everyone wants to do, perhaps you might see that everyone wants to do the same thing. So I think another key thing there, which I would also like to ask, is how do we make ourselves relevant? So I think how do we put ourselves at that forefront to make us stand out? So I would say the things like our selling points, then we'll say the selling point. I don't know how to, in this era and this day and age now, talking about post-COVID and, or as we say, COVID now. So how would you, maybe just like in a sentence or two, how can we make ourselves extra relevant?
Okay, so extra relevance, I would say, doesn't come with following what everyone is doing. It is in being your authentic, unique self. Don't jeopardize on your values, on your ethics, on your principles because of relevance. And in being authentic, in being your true self, therein lies relevance. So I made mention of relevance sometimes being quiet. Because if you spend this time developing yourself, like me now, I'm not doing Instagram lives. I could be, because before this whole thing, I used to do Instagram lives from time to time. But this period, I'm not. Rather, I'm doing audios. So I'll make a post and it's just my voice you can hear. You can't see me. So I'm willing to do other things. I don't necessarily want to be at the forefront. So quickly, I would just say, be yourself. Don't try to become somebody you are not because of relevant. If you were doing life before, yes, by all means necessary, carry on. You don't have to stop what you are doing because, do you get what I mean? And I'll say relevance also is trying to do what other people are not willing to do. Other people are not willing to try other platforms like Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, be willing to try new content and develop new content. If you're a social media influencer right now, there's a battle of, but sometimes just take a step back and breathe, because that's what people need. People are getting tired of people being in their face. So yeah.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. That was very insightful. Um, Again, a quick recap. I don't know if we have questions. You can send in your questions. We still have time to take some questions and to let Florence answer those questions. I'll quickly do a recap again. Florence talked about us being willing to try new things, and there was something that just kept on ringing as you were talking, explore, we need to just try, whatever it is, we need to open our minds. Okay.
Mhm.
Then you made mention of three things again I loved so much: ask, innovate, and research. And you know what, that I put that in an acronym and it came in as AIR. Ask, innovate, and research. So we must take in that air. We must do that. So I'm hoping that we're all learning that too. I'm definitely not going to forget that anytime soon. So thank you for that. I don't know if we still have questions coming in. You can actually send in your
Anyone
questions
has
for
any
those.
questions? Yeah.
Yeah, and for those of us who are on YouTube live streaming, that from there. For those on Facebook, we are on Dabira Magazine. You can also follow our conversation on Twitter at Dabira Woman using the hashtag Thriving in Uncertainty and Dabira Women Conference. So again, on Facebook, you can start your watch party to reach out to your friends so they can join in. Don't let anyone you love so dearly miss this session or miss any of our sessions, if I may say. So you can watch us live and send in your questions also on those platforms. So any questions again? Yes. I think I'm trying to get out something. I'm hoping somebody's trying to say something to us here. Right. There was something again I was gonna mention. You talked about, the free periods, where we can do freebies and after that we can start charging. I mean, I really love that so much. That was very, very interesting to note. And you said there should be a caveat, so try for 10 days, because you normally see that really on different on ads. They'll say free trial for 30 days. If you're not, then you can do. In fact, for some of them, they don't even tell you. It's in the T and C's hidden somewhere, and they'll start charging your bank, your cards and your account.
Yeah.
Once you don't cancel.
I just experienced that as well.
Yeah, could you throw more light? Yeah,
Okay, so
it's so funny. So I mean, could you just throw more light on that for us, please?
yeah, so I'm sure we've all heard of Disney Plus. They've just started it's almost like Netflix, and I signed up to it, and because they said 7 days trial, free trial, so I thought, let me see what I can watch in 7 days. After 7 days, I'll cancel. But they were like, oh, put your card details just to confirm that you are a human being, like it's you. So I'm like, okay, I put my card details. What I should have done, was should have moved money away from my my current account, so that when they charge me, because I forget, I didn't set a reminder. Now, it was yesterday actually. So I'm like, oh my gosh, money has been taken out of my account. I didn't even watch the free trial. I didn't use the app at all. But because it said 7 days free, now this is the psychology of it. If you tell someone that I'm willing to give you my service cost 20,000 naira, it costs 50K, it costs 100,000, or it costs 200 pounds or 500 pounds, but I'm willing to send you a sample. I'm willing to give it to you for free for this XYZ day. You're like, this person must be so sure of their service. Now, even if you are uncertain, because of their confidence, you automatically borrow their belief and then you use their service. It's like a reverse psychology strategy where, the market is like going to the market now, the market woman strategy is that they come to you, they don't sit down in their shop and they say, They come to you, they say, come and buy, come and buy, come and buy. They'll come to you, say, Auntie, I like your dress. This hair will suit you. They don't sit there comfortable. It's the same thing. So you know who is interested, you know who needs certain things. You target them, and then you tell them, okay, I'm so sure of what I can do. I'm so confident that if you try my counseling, you try my this, I can coach you on this, I can do this for you. I'm so sure that you'll be hooked after. So, but if you try it, you must put your card details down, and yeah, you get charged. So I think a lot of us, we can't offer, like even Amazon Prime in the UK and America, they do delivery, and sometimes they do like buy one, get one free, or they do buy it first. And if you don't like it, after 70 days, we'll refund you your money. A lot of us would make more money if we were willing to tell people we are willing to refund them 100%. Sometimes I go into consultations with clients, and the money they've paid me for the session, I bring it out. I'm like, this is your £50 you paid me. If you know you're not going to listen to what I'm about to say, take your money back. They look at me like, is this girl rude? Is she okay? But because I'm so confident, even if I'm not confident sometimes, I'm like I said, I've sent the money on errands, so I need the money. But my confidence, like, I don't want to waste my time, and I don't want you to waste your time. So I put the money down, and they will look at me like, is this babe serious? Do you know what? Let me just give it a go. So sometimes it's just, that's all we need. Like I said before, it's not that we don't know what to do. It's not that we don't know how to do it. It's the belief in ourselves. It's the willing to break out of procrastination and laziness. So I hope that answers your question.
Yes, it does. Thank you very much. Thank you. I got a personal question, and the question is, could you please give us at least 3 or 5 opportunities you have observed in the past weeks?
Okay. So is this across different industries?
Yes, across anyone you've actually.
Okay. Number one, I would say, is delivery services. This is an essential part of life now. If people are scared of COVID, the ones that are scared don't want to go out, but they need to go out. They need to buy stuff. You are not so scared. You're not so paralyzed by fear. I mean, you're taking safety measures. Like me, I've been going for walks. I've been going to the mall. I'm not that scared. But I have friends that since for the past 1 month, they have not left their house. And even when things come to them, they disinfect it. The neighbors has to help them. They are paralyzed with fear. I think delivery services, dispatch riders, is very important right now. That's number one. Number two, self-care for women. Because me, self, I will pay for it. Like, I'm even searching. Hair, nails, brows, waxing, lashes, you name it. People need to know how to do it themselves. Now, some people are still willing to so I think be a good teacher in this season will really help. Another one that I've seen, an opportunity that I've seen, is teaching children. It's teaching children. So when I was younger, I used to teach Sunday school, and someone from years ago called me, and she was like, my dear, she's like, Florence, when you used to teach the school children, please, my daughter is at home. I don't know what to teach her. Can you help? I said, Auntie, I don't have time. I'm still working. She said, I'll pay you, whatever it is, please. I don't know what to do with that. Just sit on the Skype with that. I said, I cannot do it. And I had to now go and look for people that were willing to do it. And people were like, children are a lot of work. They don't listen. I don't have patience for that. Is it patience you're looking for? Or is it money you're looking for? Or which one? Okay. So I think also teaching children right now is a top one. Teaching children. It doesn't have to be just little kids. It could be secondary school kids, people that are, they're about to go into exams. I think I've said how many now. Delivery, DIY hair care, teaching children, teaching in general. Then the next thing I'll say is listening to people. People are paying for it in America, and they're not counselors. It's actually quite interesting. So on social media, they'll say, oh, like if you need someone to listen to you, if you need someone to be there for you, like a virtual friend. So they come up with a contract where you sign an agreement, they agree to keep your details private, and they'll just listen, someone to listen to you. And they're charging like $20 for it. Someone and people are paying, because they feel safer talking to a stranger. And the girl's tagline was, because sometimes it's safer to talk to strangers than to talk to the person you know. And she's charging $20 per hour. And, on her calendar, she's always booked. Now, the key is she's saying that she's a good listener, and that's what she's charging people for. So if you are a good listener, if you are a natural advisor, if you are a solutionist, you're an advisor, you can monetize from that. So consultancy is on a rise. If you're good at structuring things, coming up with a routine, how to manage the home front, house, all these things, there's also opportunities in that. And then the last one I would say is I'll say there's two more I've noticed over the past. I'll say helping the elderlies, but it depends on some of the elderlies don't have, but some of them, they have a lot. And it's just that because they're elderly, they cannot do it themselves, so they're willing to pay. Then I'll say bringing shopping to people. So you go to the market, you go to ShopRite, you go to Tesco, you go to Walmart and buy what people need. So the basics, the fundamentals, and bring it to people's service. So like a door-to-door, a direct marketing tact. So I think those industries, I've noticed opportunities in it. So I hope that answers the question. Any
Yes,
question?
it does. Thank you very, very much. Thank you, Florence. That was very insightful, sir. I was just trying to type so that everybody could actually share in and learn from what you've just listed out for us. Okay. I think what will happen will actually, if there are any more questions, we'll put them together and obviously we can solve our free will, which we're asking from you. Once again, I would like to say thank you very much, Florence. It has been an amazing time having you on here, and I'm sure our minds and our hearts have been opened. I have actually learned so much again from you, and thank you so much. God bless you. We hope to have you again in our subsequent conferences, God willing, and keeping us all safely and well. Thank you very much, and God bless.
Thank you so much. Bye, everyone. Thank you so much.